Well, what are we doing today? You know, it's always something different, as you know, if you follow my videos. Sorry, kids just pulled up with Grandma and Grandpa outside, sidetracked me. If you watch my videos, you know we do everything from side-by-sides, dirt bikes, quads, cars, trucks, whatever. So stick around with us if you enjoy any of that type of stuff. It's always something different, something entertaining. Today, what we're working on is my brother's 65 Impala. So he does a ton of work. If you've seen the videos, you've always seen him helping out and doing all that type of stuff. Well, he is always working on other people's stuff and never gets a chance to work on his. He's actually gone for 5 weeks in Europe, visiting friends and traveling around and stuff with his girlfriend. So what I thought was he's been working real hard on the remodel. We moved in down, here's Mark's shop. We moved in down to the house down there. So I thought, hey, he's been having problems with this. We get a random no spark. That's the second or third HEI, and he had a different distributor in there. We've run power straight to the battery. We've done everything. Every once in a while, it'll run fine, or it may not run fine. And when it doesn't start, it has no spark. Sorry, got a phone call. Anyway, so here we are, getting ready to, well, I wanted to make this thing a runner. Whew, man, it is dusty. Poor thing. Let's just show you this thing real quick. This car, so Mark's first car in high school in the 90s was a 65 Impala, and it was not this one. This one was actually next to a house that Mark worked at, his boss's house, and this car is actually the one that inspired Mark to get a 65 Impala. Anyway, 20 some odd years go by, and the guy that owns this one ended up having some health problems. He called Mark and was like, hey, make me an offer. So, long story short, Mark ended up with the 65 Impala that started it all for him. So anyway, in order to make this a runner and get rid of the issues, well, I'm hoping to get rid of the issues. Because the engine runs real good. I think it's a 327. Anyway, wha-bam, there we go. Holley Sniper and the Hyperspark system for it. So usually what I do before I hook up the Sniper, before I plumb it up, I just hook everything up, make sure I have all the wiring, everything. When you get the Hyperspark full kit, it is amazing. So here we go. We are going to, wha-bam, get this in there. Oh, where are we at? There we go. So I'm going to probably get a hand because, you know, we'd be short. And Impalas are big. They got like a truck. They got a truck engine bay. How am I going to get in there? Not very easy. So I'm going to start ripping and tearing on this. Well, pretty simple. 4 bolts. I'm not going to give you guys a walkthrough on how to hook these up. There's plenty of good videos out there. I know we've been saying that a lot lately, but I don't think we really need to make how-tos on stuff like this. That's super common. You guys have all seen it. So we're going to do this and get rocking. So I will try to update here and there. Well, since I wasn't able to reach, I had to grab my son Karsten here, so he's going to help me pull that stuff apart because he's a good helper. Can you pull that carburetor off? Yep, just kind of wiggle it back and forth and lift it up. Look at that. Like a champ, you could set it right here and then I'll grab it. Just like that. It certainly helps to have a helper when you can't reach stuff. It is super awesome being able to have Karsten here helping me. Boom. Because there we go. Getting the Sniper on there. You can probably do that one by finger. It was a little stiff at the top. There you go. Getting that back one back there. And if you get them, you don't have to crank them down tight because I can reach to check them and make sure they're decent.
That one.
All right, we'll check it and then we'll continue on with the rest of the stuff. Good job, bud.
Yeah.
I know, it's all we have, this temporary air cleaner, but we'll put that on for now, just so we don't get stuff down in there. Oh, flip it upside down, bud. There you go. Kind of hard to find the hole there sometimes. Just not even gonna worry about cutting the stud. There's a washer for you. This is called a wing nut.
Yep, and I lost one on my bicycle.
You did. We just have to remember if we're gonna close the hood, which we probably won't. That might clear, but we'll have to be careful for that. Good job, bud. There we go. We can start on some wiring now. Kind of reminds me of the Calvin being on Fords. Got the Impala, you know, taking a leak, draining the fuel tank. So I'm gonna pull it out and put some fittings on it. So I did a thing. I mounted the O2 sensor with their hoopty bracket thing that they give you. Not because it's easier, but because I didn't want to waste time welding an O2 bung into this exhaust. As you can see, she's crinkle bent, kind of hoopty. So if Mark ends up putting different exhaust on it, which we probably will sometime in the nearish future, well, I didn't want to waste a O2 bung going up there. So that's what he gets for now. So O2 sensor mounted, fuel lines mocked up in their places to be. Of course, I need to tie them up still. They're just loosely zip tied into place so I could see what kind of lengths I would need. You can see some hanging down there. I got to pull the tank out and get some fittings on that and finish up the plumbing of the fuel lines. And we'll be pretty close. I think we'll be down to the distributor and hooking up power and ground. So we'll see what happens. Stick around and see. Maybe this thing will run finally again. Okay, a little out of breath. Had to run down and get some tires from my house. I'm down here at Mark's shop, working on the Impala. Got that transmission over yonder from our buddy Chris. Taking out this leaky dog. So, when you're a handy, capable cripple like myself, you gotta improvise. We're gonna try this. I gotta pull that transmission, and I figured, let me just grab our little roll around table here and put some blocks on it. So I'm gonna let you go for the ride along with me. That way, if something happens, you'll get to see it too, and I won't be the only one to experience it. And if Mark comes home from vacation, he's like, hey, what about that big old chunk out of the concrete? I'll be like, I don't know what happened. Just don't watch the video on your car. You know, if it's gonna go south from here on out, you're probably gonna wanna have a little light on the situation so you can see why I'm an idiot. Hopefully it's why I'm smart and use a little bit of ingenuity to help me out when I can't lift a transmission above my head. So, fingers crossed that it goes well. First step, we gotta lower it down and see if it's even feasible. Well, we have touchdown of sorts. It's sitting on there. I gotta disconnect a couple of more things and we'll see what happens from there. I gotta take off the tranny cooler lines. I would have taken them off earlier, but I didn't want the didn't want them spilling everywhere. Alrighty, wish me luck. We'll see if we can get this puppy out of here. I sure hope it works. Gotta pry a little bit at a time here. Don't mind me for doing it slow, but I really don't want to drop it. So far, it looks pretty good. Yep, I think it's all disconnected. Torque converter didn't fall out. So, we'll keep going. Oh man, successful. Now, pull this thing out and we'll get that other one ready to go in. So I'm pretty excited to have this one out. Well, here we are. It's the next day. Got the other transmission ready to put up in there. Had to go pick up kids from school yesterday, so that cut it a little bit short. But we're gonna see what we can do. Hopefully we'll be able to get this thing up in there. Okay, so I blocked this up a little bit different than last time and ended up jacking myself. So I gotta fix this, and we'll see. Got this rod here in the way. We'll see what we can do with that. Always gotta have the safety squints available. Okay, we are sort of snugged up, and then want to check the converter. Yep, it spins free, so I know we aren't bound up. All right, we got most of the bolts in. I got to throw one more in the top here, but we have success. Put the cross member on, and then I can start bolting everything else up. So I won't bore you with that, but I'm pretty stoked that I was able to get the transmission in by myself. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This time it did. So sweet.
We got the sniper hooked up. We got everything.
Temporary.
Yeah, I got
Still got
everything.
clean up wiring.
Everything's temporary right now. We're just gonna see if it'll actually start. This
First startup, it may or may not run. You can turn the key to run, Jeff.
Ooh, I hear a fuel pump.
We do have fuel pump.
Okay, this one goes to negative. Okay, negative. And this one goes to positive. Okay, just like that.
Okay, give it one little test real quick.
There she goes. She's a runner.
We just needed some fuel to get there.
Yep.
I forgot the tank was empty.
That's why I had him cycle on and off.
Yeah.
Frickin' Jeff was floored in there. Oh, okay, yeah.
We'll leave it for right now. As long as it's idling, we'll let it get up to operating temp, and then
Yeah, it's idling pretty good right now.
got our spark plug wires on the way.
Yep,
We gotta
new
clean
spark
up
plug
that
wires.
hole over there.
We'll clean up the wiring over there.
Well, Mark, you deserve it. So we'll get you back on the road. This way you can actually go to the car shows with us and the cruise-ins and stuff.
Yeah, you hear that? No excuses.
Yeah.
No.
Hopefully you aren't mad. You always make fun of fuel injection, but oops.
Sorry.
What fuel injection? Looks like a carburetor to me.
All right, well, we're gonna let her warm up, tie up some wiring, and we'll be back when it's time to go for a drive.
Well, here we are. Vince and I
Cruising down
taking
the
our
street.
in my 6.5.
6.5, yeah.
Not 6.4. We are taking the Impala for the first test drive with the Sniper on it. She's a cruiser. She's dirty. Vince gave her a little bit of cleanup, but still definitely dusty, so we'll get to that a little bit. We're just rocking, trying to get a few miles on this thing. So far, so good. It's cruising like a champion. So we just gotta do some miles. So we're out cruising, enjoying the scenery. Well, it made it back. It drives so good with the initial startup tune in it. We got an exhaust leak. So the exhaust on it's super rotted out. Don't need to take a little fuel out when we rev it up, but just cruising it cruises super good. Well, we couldn't handle the exhaust leak on this ratty exhaust. Didn't want to spend too much time with it. I think I already explained going with the ghetto clamp there for the O2, but we couldn't handle listening to it. So there you go, Mark. You got a temporary patch panel going on the cherry bomb, blast pack, whatever you want to call them things. So then we don't have to listen to it. Mark's going to want to change the exhaust out at some time anyway. But no leaks so far. Transmission is awesome. So I think it's pretty close to when we're going to round out this video, and it should just be driving after this. We'll see.
If you like our video, like and subscribe.